Hello, hello. Welcome to this episode of the Rogers Radio Podcast. I am your host, Alyssa Rogers, and today you will see I have two wonderful people with me. I'm so excited to get to know them. We are going to get to know them together because we just spoke for the first time yesterday, and now they're in here today. I have Patrick and Lindsay Gibson, who run Patrick Gibson Photography out of Danville, right? You're headquartered out of Danville, Virginia, and I am just so excited to get to talk to the both of you, get to hear your story. We talked a little bit before we started recording, and they said we're in for a great story, and so I am so excited to get to know the both of you. Thank you for being here today.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, I'm going to start. Patrick Gibson Photography. How did this start?
So it's quite the story. I guess it maybe kind of starts with us being in EMS and working on the ambulance.
Okay.
We had our first kid. We got together. You were 17, I was 18. And then we had Lily. I was 19, you were 18.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was just like, skip college, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we got to go out and work, be individuals. So I ended up getting my EMT working at Regional 1 in Danville. And then you kind of followed about a year and a half later. And then we were partners on the ambulance for a while.
24-hour shifts.
24-hour shifts?
Yeah. Sometimes like 52-hour shifts.
Wow.
'Cause it was snowing and stuff.
And this is in Danville?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Regional 1, unfortunately, shut down.
Okay.
So then we came to Halifax and worked for Terry Burkholder right up the road.
A patient transport.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So one thing about EMS and just public safety in general, a lot of people, they smoke, they drink.
Right.
And so, I mean, ever since I was in high school, I've just been a big partier.
Mm-hmm.
And so, drinking kind of bit me and got to me and kind of became, instead of fun, just more of an everyday thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had our issues going through it. And then there was a point in time where I was like, well, we got to make more money. And this was about 3 years back. So I started at DCC to get my machining degree, went through that, of course, partied. And at the same time, raising our kid, she's 7 now. Just partying. And then, again, us having our issues, but we're sticking through it. Mm-hmm. And so I graduate and we moved to Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
This was May 2022. And we're like, we have this fresh start. Like, I'm gonna get myself in check. She's gonna do her stuff, going to school. And then, so GE was amazing to work for. Great company. And then they had a firing spree. So about 10 people got laid off. I was one of the lowest man on the totem poles. I'd been there for about 3 months. And so from there, I was just kind of working at mom and pop fabrication shops, doing what I can. And then Lindsay got pregnant of December 2022. And then we were like, well, we got to move back. We have no family down here. All of our family's up here. Let's come back and
we both come from really close
families.
Yeah.
All of our families close.
Mm-hmm.
So it just meant a lot to us. And I'd lost the GE by then, and that was the whole reason we were down there. So I was like, you know what? We'll just move back. So we, broke our lease and did what we had to do there. And about a week and a half, 2 weeks before we ended up moving, we were in the middle of packing, getting everything ready. Lindsay had a miscarriage at 8 weeks.
So sorry.
And then, so we moved back, and then my papa died 2 weeks after we moved back. And he was like my hero, the nicest guy you'd ever meet. And so then that really messed with us and our marriage because emotionally the miscarriage was messing with her and she wasn't dealing with it well. And I was just drinking more, and then it caused us to kind of separate a little more. And then
and even without drinking, having a loss like that can mess any marriage.
Of course.
Right.
So I had the drinking onto it, and we were getting really close. But I was like, you know what? We're going to fight. We're going to do this.
That's what we've always
so
done.
We were getting back into church. We were like, we're going to do whatever it takes to make this work. Mm-hmm. Well, fast forward to I started working at a high school in Danville, and he is just working back down here in Halifax.
On the ambulance.
Yeah. Terry just always takes us back.
Yeah, like to
it's
this
an
day,
open
he's
door
great.
policy
Yeah.
there. It's one big family. And we found out I was expecting again that summer.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in between that time, his drinking had picked up. He had broken his foot.
Yeah, so I had a lot of time to just be at the house not doing anything while my foot was recovering for like 3 months. And at the same time, I started subbing because that's something I could do. I, just sit at a desk all day, watch some kids, have my boot on. I had to make some type of money.
Sure.
So,
I was
doing that.
Picked up then.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when we lost the second child last year, the drinking progressed, and we separated for a bit. And then he was like, "Okay, that's it. I'm done."
Yeah, it was June 26th of last year.
We're proud to say
stopped.
He's a year sober.
Yeah.
Well, you're sober.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Yeah,
and the reason we give this background is because of the drinking. The first camera he purchased was actually a drunk purchase.
In Asheville, yeah, we were in Asheville, and I was like, "Oh, this would be cool. We live around all these mountains and stuff, and I just bought it, never even touched it. And then, so once I stopped, and then I was out of the house for about a week, and then she let me back in, and we were starting to work on things, and being sober and all that stuff. And I'd quit cold turkey, no meetings, no any of that type of stuff. And I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm done. And I was cleaning out the closet, and I found the camera. And I was like, well, I need something to do with my time now. Like, I've always been a big gamer.
Yep.
So, I have that, but I've always wanted to make my own money. And I really feel like that brain fog from just drinking all the time, like, I wasn't free. So I picked up the camera, and I just started offering shoots and, practicing on our daughter. And, things just kind of rolled from there. And then I'm now a year sober, and I just hit a year with the business. I went full-time in April.
Okay.
I quit from the school, and things have just been rolling. And when I first started, I was saying yes to everything. Anything that came my way, said yes to it, which wasn't the smartest move because I wasn't experienced, and I wasn't, like indoor shooting is completely different from outdoor shooting. And I would just be like, yeah, I got this, I'll just go in there and do it. No. But I've never had an unhappy client. And now I'm glad to say I know what I'm doing.
Right.
But I feel like that made me versatile in return. So I'm still at the point where I'm saying yes to just about everything, but I've really found what I want to focus on, and that's weddings and business media.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing, and it's just been blowing up.
So what is it about weddings and businesses that just sparks that joy for you and what you love? So
with weddings, we found early on that we really like shooting couples.
Okay.
Just getting that, like, those intimate moments. Like, one of my favorite shots for me to get, because we rarely ever pose. I don't like posing.
Right.
A lot of stuff is in motion or some sort of prompt. Right before people kiss, it's something there. And I love those shots. A lot of people like the kissing shots, but right before it, that's, like, we love those. And couples are just fun. They're all different. They all have different vibes. And
what a story the two of you have, for fighting for each other. And you said you did separate for a while, and then you got sober. And so what brought you back together, and what has you working together now?
So for me, it was just always, one, I was thinking of my daughter always. I don't want her to grow up in two separate households, but also I love my husband, And I always think back, this is going to sound, I don't know, dumb, weird, whatever, but I always think back to the Facebook interviews, and it's all the old couples, and they say, what leads to a happy marriage? And every single one of them say, you never give up at the same time. And so even though I had threw in the towel, he was constantly showing me, like, hey, I'm this long sober. Like, I haven't drunk, like, since I've left the house. Like, I want us to work. And then when he replaced the drinking with the photography, I always this business means so much to me because it healed our marriage in a way of making us closer when we already thought we were as close as you could get after those 24-hour shifts together. I mean, there were times where I was like, I need a break from you. We were together so much. And it brought us closer, you know, emotionally than I ever thought possible. And I, honest to God, like, between the work that we put in and the business and just watching him grow and flourish, I would say that the business helped save our marriage.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. And I mean, the two of you are fighters, and I can feel that energy from the both of you when you talk about it. And with this business, because it is a newer business and you're getting your name out there, what can people expect when they come to you and say, hey, I want you to shoot my wedding, or I want you to come to my business and get some shots or headshots or whatever it may be? What can they expect from you?
I would say different. That's a lot of the times I ask, like, you know, if you could use one word to describe different. A lot of people say that. Thought-provoking is another one. So the way that I edit, a lot of photographers have styles. And if you, like, let's say you're looking on their Instagram, a lot, it's the same kind of vibe throughout everything.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and that's fine.
No.
Like, if you found that and that works, you know, and this is something that I struggle with as an artist all the time. I question myself about it. I feel like I don't really have a style.
Okay.
The way that I do it, I'll get the client's vibe or the couple's vibe, whatever it is, and then that's how I edit. So if they're bright and airy, the pictures are gonna be bright and airy. If they're more like gothic, you know, like, they're gonna be dark and moody.
Sure.
And then sometimes I'll just ask, like, what do you like? And then that's another way that I think, like, I'm so versatile.
I agree. I think that is fantastic because everyone is different, and we do that a lot here at Rogers Heating and Cooling. Like, we want to hear from the customer. What do they want, right? And what do they expect from us? Because we're here to serve them. And that sounds like you're doing the same thing. And you're not putting yourself into a box. You are opening yourself up to everyone's personality and what they want. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and it also helps with our weddings, especially. With any client that reaches out and says, I'm interested, you know, even if they're just shopping around, we'll say, hey.
In the weddings.
Yeah, in the weddings, we say, hey, let's meet here. Let us buy you coffee. And let's just get to know each other.
We make it a whole thing.
It helps being comfortable with your photographer and making sure that your personalities match. And because if you don't have that and you're like, okay, I want to go with you, then that takes time away from the session, getting that warm up. Okay, let's get out of this awkward phase.
Yeah, like if the first time you're seeing them is like the wedding day, like you've been talking over Messenger or whatever. Yeah, like that.
Absolutely.
I'd like
Totally agree with that. And I think that's fantastic that you want to get to know them. I have a question. And I've asked Kenny this because Kenny videos a lot of weddings, and I think that would be the most terrifying thing is being a photographer or videographer for a wedding, because that is like a one-time shot. You got to get it. How do you feel going into those days?
When we first started, okay, one of our first sessions was an engagement session. And we, like I said, we loved couples, and we're like,
I think it was the second session we done.
Yeah.
Ever.
We were like
paid
easy peasy.
Legit session.
We got this. Patrick knew them personally already. And we get there, pictures come out beautiful, and like a month later, she's like, hey, you want to do my wedding?
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm like a month into this.
Yeah. And she's like, well, don't worry, it's going to be small. It's just at my grandma's backyard. You know, just come on. It's going to be fine. Like, I'm fine with it. It's okay. So we do it. And I'm like, Patrick, I am never going near another wedding.
Yeah. We're driving out of it, and I'm like, I'm never doing this again. Like, I know this is where the money is, but I'm not doing this.
I was like, this was the most stressful day. ever.
Yeah. But the pictures came out great.
I'm
They loved them.
sure.
Yeah.
I completely feel you. Like, I would be so nervous.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be double checking. Did I get it? Did I get it? Did it save?
Yes.
Yep.
So now that we're getting into bigger weddings.
Yes.
Yeah, like we're going to Tennessee next month.
Awesome.
Yes.
To video a wedding. We're super excited about that. We did their engagement photos, and their venue came with the photographer, and they were like, but I really want you there some type of way. I was like, well, I'll do video. And they were like, okay, let's do that. Because
Yeah.
they have some family members that can't make it. So they were like, well, the video is like more important anyways. So we're doing that. And then there's a few weddings coming up where we're doing photo and video. And that's going to be a lot.
That is. So do you bring on, is it just the two of you?
Yep.
Just
It's
the
just
two of
us.
you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous for you guys. I'm nervous just in those moments, but I know you're fantastic and you'll have it. But I mean, goodness, like that's a big deal. And so congratulations on like being able to do that.
Well, Patrick does all the editing.
Okay.
Normally my role for normal sessions, my role is just, giving the prompts and, being the more people person. So that way Patrick can make sure, okay, is this setting right? Is this setting right? I'm sure, Kenny understands
Just more worrying about the technical side of things.
To make sure everything's in focus, and I'm being the more people-y person and laughing and hooting and carrying on, and Patrick's over there like zoned in.
Yeah.
But for the weddings, he's told me, like, even when I shoot some on the normal sessions, he's like, you just shoot different. Because he'll go through the pictures. He was like, what were you thinking when you got this? And I was like, I don't know. It just happened.
Yeah, well, sometimes I'm like, here, just, because you need the practice. Like, just take the camera for 20 minutes of this hour session, right? And, she's still learning more of the technical stuff, but, like, she's got the eye. Most definitely. Like, because sometimes I'll be like, did you get this or did I get this? And she's like, I got that one. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you got it.
We actually have a competition coming up with one of our models.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're both going to have a session with
So
her.
she's going to be in a room for like 20 minutes.
Does she know this?
Yes.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
planned it together.
Okay.
And she was like, just send them to me blind. I don't want to know who did what. And I'm going to tell you which one I like the best. And I'm like, you're going down.
Yeah.
I love this. You need to promote this. See, I think that is so cool. And, you have some big stuff coming up. Your business is growing. I mean, how did you just start getting your name out there? Because just starting this up and saying, okay, I'm going to do this, was it just word of mouth or?
Well, at first, definitely word of mouth and really pushing it. But I always like to say I take every opportunity that's in front of me, no matter what it is. And that's really helped. I'm at the point now where I don't have to chase that as much. I still do. Yep. But I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. Like I'm definitely reaching for more. But we just kind of ran into the right people. Yeah, honestly, like we got into like the downtown crowd in Danville pretty quickly. Met the right people. One of her students actually, her name is Monica, and
my student's mom.
Yeah. The mom's name is Monica, and she runs the ARC out of Danville. It's a nonprofit organization, and she really helped me flourish and introduced me to some people. And then the GM of the B Hotel, Maddie, she's been really great.
We actually recently just got to photograph the Edmonds brothers from the
NFL players
that are from Danville.
Yeah, they came down to the B.
At the B.
I saw those pictures.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. Okay.
Yeah. So, we were doing like photo and video for them just to kind of refresh their website and stuff. And then she texted me and was like, I've got 2 of the Edmonds brothers.
Yeah.
Can you be here this day? And I was like, what? And then I was like, of course, I'll be there. So, we did it, and it was great. But I'll tell you, that was one of the hardest photo shoots I've done. It took me about 20 hours to edit 40 pictures, 50 pictures.
And they are the nicest guys.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I heard how nice they were.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's best friend taught them at Dan River. Mm-hmm. She was like, they were the most down-to-earth people. And I was like, okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And then, like, when we met them, it was... Because that's a big deal for us. At the time, not even a year in. And now we've got local celebrities that we're photographing. We're like, we cannot mess this up.
You're so good. And so you've done so many cool shoots already. What would be one that's like bucket list item? What would you love to shoot?
I got
It could be anything.
I'm gonna look at the camera.
Yes.
So if anybody wants to do this,
Yes.
I am willing to do a destination wedding. So meaning not in the U.S.
Yeah.
Just fly us out anywhere for free as long as you pay for our travel.
And hotel stay.
Well, yeah, I said travel, whatever.
Well,
but
you got to
So
specify.
they pay for your travel.
Yes.
So hotel, airfare,
Yep.
yeah,
and you'll
I'll
shoot
do it
their
for
wedding
free.
for free.
for
Yeah.
sure.
What,
Yes.
Video.
Are y'all listening? You have weddings coming up?
Video and photography. We would do both.
Let's get it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what would be it can be anywhere out of the U.S., but what would be your dream?
Oh, probably Japan.
Japan.
Japan. Or, I don't want to sound cliche, but Paris.
Yeah,
Because
Paris
I would
would be
want to
sick.
take that same couple, and if they were up for it, go to the Eiffel Tower at 1 o'clock when it twinkles. Have y'all seen that where
Yes.
it twinkles
Yeah.
at night?
Gorgeous.
And do like an intimate session then,
Yeah.
like on the honeymoon night, and just celebrate. I don't know. I love love. I know people say that and it sound.
I mean,
just
it's
love
definitely
love.
one of our favorite things to shoot is couples, for sure.
Oh my gosh, all
Um,
the couples. Look at this couple. I love you guys. Well,
Yeah.
I am so thrilled for you. You have overcome so much. Thank you for sharing your story with us. You have overcome so much. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And I'm so happy that the two of you fought for each other because your business is going to go so far. I feel it. And you're already accomplishing so much. I can't wait to continue watching your journey. And I want you to tell everyone how they can find you, how they can
for
reach
sure.
out to you so they can start hiring you for their weddings and everything else they have and that destination wedding. So where can they find you?
Facebook, Instagram.
Right. So Facebook is either Patrick Gibson or Patrick Gibson Photography. Both are active. I post the same on both. Instagram is I am PG Photography. Website is iampgphotography.com. Yeah, just reach out and
We're on Google.
we're freelance, so we do anything.
Yeah,
So there's no
and
limits.
I'll be sure to put all the information in the bio so you can go and click and review everything and reach out to them. I mean, you won't be disappointed. These two are so legit. I feel so great. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Congratulations on your sobriety. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. And we can't wait to talk to you next week. But before we do, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, check out our YouTube page, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.